My name is Arvis Wright, and I'm 85 years old. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Texas. And he lives Asbury. I forgot what year, 1955. We got married 1957. And I started renting houses soon before I retired from Lone Star Steel. I forget what year. We started with 2 houses. We purchased the land from Henry Nelson. Now, after we got the houses set up, a lot of work to be done on them, repaired. We repaired them. Then before we got them repaired, people would want to know if I was going to rent them. And I said yes. They moved out. We had some that wanted to move back, but we had already rented them out to somebody else. We tried to repair.
How many rent houses you have?
How many rent houses I have 8 rent houses.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Parnell. I live in Pittsburgh, Texas. They've been knowing me all my life. I came to Pittsburgh with my grandmother, which I was reared by. I was 10 months old. So I'm 65 now, and I've been knowing them for at least 60 years. I've known one person, I think, that rented from Miss Tibba and Mr. Orvis. It was Annie Mae Wright Gilmore, I think, is her married name. But she rented the house here on Martin Luther King Avenue, and she seemed to like it, and the house was nice. So. And she always said that they were good people, and they were church members as well. So. Well, the African Americans, the blacks, had to live on in the projects, which was called Park Place, and it's still called that now. And the whites lived at I can't remember the name of their housing authority, but it was, basically across town from each other. And blacks couldn't live in there, and whites didn't want to live in Park Place. But now, in the 2000s, it doesn't matter because they got them mixed up. Black and white live in the same place wherever the housing authorities are. And their reputation as far as their housing and how they keep their houses up. Different ones that I heard talk about it said that they were good landlords. They tried to work with the community to help people instead of trying to, get pennies for themselves. Both Miss Tibble used to cook and feed almost the whole community if they needed to be fed, and even housed. She and Mr. Orvis both just worked hard. I think she was a stay-home mom, and but being a stay-home mom, she worked out. She had a garden, and you could come and pick peas and greens out from her garden. I mean, she wasn't gonna pick them for you, but you was more than welcome to come and pick peas and greens and tomatoes and onions or whatever she had planted. The community was welcome to them. Mr. Orvis used to bush hog, certain pastures for people, and I want to say I know he had a tractor, so I'm pretty sure he probably tilled up the ground, for people that have small gardens or big gardens or whatever. So, plus he worked at Lone Star Steel till he retired.
My name is Tavaka Grant. I live at 4 Perry Street in Pittsburgh, Texas. In Pittsburgh, it's really not a lot of rental properties. Um, the ones that we do have, mostly people get in them and pretty much stay in them. So we don't have a lot, to look for when we do get ready to look. We really have to kind of go out of town, unless you know someone. And that's kind of how this was with me. I needed a place to stay. I knew JR, so I got in contact with him, and he got in contact with his aunt, Teresa, and it went from there. And that's how I'm here now.
Glenn Burdine Jr. I was born in Dallas, Texas. I reside in Pittsburgh, Texas.
My name is Teresa Wright Taylor. I was born in Titus County, Mount Pleasant, Texas, and now I reside in Dallas, Texas.
My name is Sharon Wright Davis. I was born in Titus County, Mount Pleasant, Texas, and I reside in San Antonio, Texas.
Well, I became landlord and Sharon became landlord in 2014. Daddy was getting up in age, and so there were so many houses that needed to be tended to, and plus the upkeep and the care of the houses was dwindling. So that's when we took over.
Okay, I mean, I like the job. I like to see the people when they get in the house and actually be happy. It's a lot of good people that need houses. And in this area, it's a lot of houses that are not up to par where, people are comfortable. So just seeing people in comfortability is my best moment.
I had just explained about not being able to do it without Teresa. That's the most challenging. Just like she said, being in San Antonio and she in Dallas, and being able to find reliable providers for our dad in Pittsburgh, Texas, and keeping up the rent houses. That's challenging.
The most challenging part for me is when we have to evict someone. And Sharon, JR, Glenn, and I, we try to be fair to everybody. But somebody's losing. Somebody's not having a home that they can call their home. But we always try to be fair. We always give people chances. We give them deadlines and things like that, and they don't follow through. It can be very frustrating and also very sad. So that's the most challenging part for me.
The most challenging part to me is, it's like I look at everybody as equal, and I have the kindest heart. I kind of let people slide and get away with stuff, but I'm working on that. And it's hard to people you grow up with and know and have to deal with on a daily basis in this area staying here. It's hard to really just tell them no. I recently had to do it and I dealt with it, but
It's hard.
it's hard. But the show must go on.
See, there's a personal relationship you
And there's
have
a
with these
business
people.
side.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Sharon said, it's a business side to it. And so you cannot let the personal go over to the business and the business go over into personal. So I think all three of us have the challenge with that. Ask JR about that.
Drastically. Half of the time, I don't even want to go into people's houses. I'm putting on masks, shields, gloves. I'm coming in with one of those suits, what are those suits called?
Hat man.
The hazmat suit.
Hazmat.
It's because a lot of people are not taking it serious. We have people still partying, running around with no mask on. It's a lot. So the COVID-19 has made the business a little bit scarier because you don't know what that person is doing. So we try to jump with modern day technology like Cash App for paying your rent, just stuff where it's no touch relationship
Involved. And that's what he brought, because me and Sharon didn't know nothing about no Cash App. And the thing
Hey,
about it
he
is,
works the numbers,
hmm
yeah,
yeah, he
and the
works the numbers.
technology. It helped us.
And the thing about it is, a lot of the tenants, they were on board with it, but there's some, as JR can tell you, that have been older, that they say, I could write a check and deliver it to all the right house. But that's one of the things we're trying to keep our fathers safe. They cannot deliver here anymore because of this pandemic.
So that's also the most challenging is trying to make the ones that are stuck in their ways jump to modern day
Change.
technology. You know, it's kind of
Hmm.
that's a challenge. I mean, I really don't even think. I just do it. It's like I'm trying to figure out solutions before we get problems. So it's basically like, I mean, being a property manager now is something I do without even thinking about it. So it's kind of like it's just problem solution. You know, basically that's how I balance them. I'll be like, even at work, if I find a problem, I'm trying to calculate and figure out a solution. So I mean, it's easy to balance. It's just time consuming. Seeing people happy for me is like I mean, that's the like. Sometimes I don't be happy, and I can look at them happy, and it's like it brightens up my day. You know, like I can be having a rough day at work, pulling in 14, 16 hours, get off and see people happy and enjoying the place that we provided for them to stay, and you know, it's kind of. I mean, it's like heartwarming.
The rewarding point is carrying on our family legacy. Mom and dad, um, I was a little girl when they started buying 2 houses. Then there came 3, and then there came 4. And so they got all these houses, and the main reason that they started this family business is because they wanted to help people, especially single black women that had children. Because in this rural part of Texas, there weren't many opportunities for good housing for single women with
Black people.
children and black single women with children. But we have evolved, and so it doesn't matter what race you're that needs our houses. We rent. We rent to. The houses belong to the 3 surviving children of Elizabeth Asbury Wright and Arvis Wright. And so all 3 of us, our sister is not here, Cynthia Burdine, she is part of this legacy as well. And I like the way that our parent did their will, and that they include their grandchildren in the will. So after us, our grandchildren, including you, Sharon's children, and um, my sister's son here, JR, is all in the family. My sister's son
His
here and his
kids.
2 brothers are part of that will. And so after us, it goes to you guys. And I hope that
Oh
Sharon
Lord.
and I are setting a good example of how to run the family business. And so carrying on our family legacy is one point, but also evolving. And everybody around in town, they know that we're good landlords. We got a good manager here. We will hear from you, but we also want to be real with the people and say we see this, we see that. And so basically, that's one of the rewarding things of it is that our family legacy is carried on.
Like we can continue, you know, going. Like Granny used to sell food and stuff, everything. I mean, when this
Candy
COVID,
house.
yeah, candy house. When this COVID stuff go down, like you know, the future. I just look at it like, what can we do to grow and make sure everybody is
Involved.
involved. Yes.
I think that what I vision is that the technology. Me and Sharon is old school. The technology of the young people in the family would come into play, and the advancement that they can see that Sharon and I can't see, it'll be a reality for them. Because computer, electronics, all that stuff. I mean, Sharon and I, we survive with it. We do tips of that and spreadsheets and little things like that.
That's
But-
right.
but-
Office
but
writer,
wow. Wow.
Excel.
Mhm. Wow to these two because they are technological advance. I'm talking about you, Sharon. I mean you, Terry, and Jr. They both all offer to technology. They can take this business from where
And
we
make it
are
better.
today and where we are today and do a futuristic module and show people. You know, so it has. I could see it being advanced with them heading it. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the future is what you two make it.